Hello and welcome to day 225, Becoming Peace, Meditation, and Inspiration. The name of today's session is The Dissonance in Your Relationships, Part 1. The definition of dissonance is as follows: lack of agreement, the dissonance between the truth and what people want to believe, especially inconsistency between the beliefs one holds. There you have it. If you're experiencing any type of dissonance, disparagement, disappointment, or dashed expectations between you and someone in your life, there's a reason. This session is part of one of two sessions where we're unpacking reality versus expectation and how it leads to conflict and disharmony. So join me if you'd like to understand and learn more about reality versus expectations and how this impacts your life. So let's begin by looking at this slide. In this slide, you see a diagram of an expectations versus reality workboard. In this particular scenario, you can see on the left and on the right, there are each 10 levels of contribution, starting from 1 and going up to 10 on each side of the diagram. On the left side is a place to write down what your expectations are and what your wants are in any particular scenario. And on the right side, there is a place to rate reality, or things as they really are, or the contribution of someone in a particular scenario. So let's look at the example that I've written here. I would like my teenager to participate at a level 8, my expectation, and to come home on time for his curfew. I expect him to respect the rules and to make it home by 12:30 a.m. in order to get sleep and be home on time. So that is my expectation at a level 8. Well, his reality, however, and his actions show that he's not willing to participate in meeting those expectations. The reality of the situation is that he consistently shows up around 2 a.m. or whenever he feels like it and doesn't think that there needs to be any consequences for his lack of respect for this expectation. I would place his level of contribution at this point at a level 1, which means he's not making any effort, not even to call home and tell me he's going to be late. So at this point, you can imagine I feel frustrated, angry, taken advantage of, and hurt that he is not participating at the level I expect him to. In fact, this workboard shows there's a 7-level difference in what I'm expecting him to do and his actual behavior. This exercise is very telling because I can now see in black and white why we are having such a difficult time making our relationship work, why there is so much distance and dissonance. And this distance measured on this workboard tells the story. What an eye-opener. Look at how far off the mark my expectation is compared to his contribution. In reality, harmony, happiness, and unity happen as a result of people being on the same page or level. When there's more than 2 levels of difference between expectations and reality, you can always most often see why there is disharmony in the relationship. It shows up in the level of closeness, trust, and commitment. So, needless to say, our relationship is strained in this scenario. Very strained. And even avoidance and misunderstandings are more than likely happening here. Doing this work and putting the scenario on this worksheet helps us understand why and what exactly is happening. It brings awareness and shines a light, a flashlight, into some of the darkness that we experience on a daily basis with regards to relationships with others. So whenever you're experiencing stress or discontent in a relationship, always do the work by evaluating and examining what is happening so you can get real and be able to start working through what needs to happen to bring the relationship back into balance. So with this particular scenario, I would love to begin to close the gap, helping my son understand why there's a curfew, asking him questions about his need for non-compliance, finding out why he's being so difficult about keeping curfew, listening to his answers with my heart, and going after more understanding and what can be done about both of our concerns. So I've included a blank sheet on your screen in order for you to be able to take a screenshot so that you can practice at home. And this is the end of the teaching part of this exercise, which is today's session. But tomorrow, we're going to participate in a meditation about our expectations and the reality and facts other people hand us by their actions. What can we do when people don't meet our expectations? Or for that matter, show up when they say they will? That's what we're going to be meditating on tomorrow. I hope this session was helpful information to be able to see the process of why we get so frustrated and hurt sometimes when people don't show up and do what they say they will, or meet the expectations that we believe they should. I hope I see you tomorrow as we meditate on this topic and find more answers for ourselves at a deeper level. Thank you for joining me today for this session on the dissonance in your relationships. Remember to choose to take in more light today than you did yesterday. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to today's session, day 226. This is part 2 of a series we're doing on understanding dissonance in relationships. The name of today's session is More Dissonance in Your Relationships, Part 2. If you happen to miss yesterday's session, you may want to go back and review day 225. It delivers all the what, why, and who. It'll help jumpstart what we're going to cover today, which is a meditation surrounding expectations versus reality. So go ahead and find a comfy spot to sit in with your back supported and your head free. Your feet placed on the floor and your hands in your lap. Take some deep cleansing breaths and go ahead and breathe in with your nose and exhale through your mouth, and get ready for deep relaxation and being present, mindful, and aware in this session. Have you ever had an experience where someone in your life didn't show up as they told you they would? Have you ever experienced disappointment inside of a trusted relationship where you expected one behavior and what showed up was something completely different? Or have you ever experienced broken trust, where someone committed to certain things, certain promises, certain expectations, only to have them not only not keep their commitment, but actually work against you and stab you in the back? All these scenarios, if you're human, you have more than likely experienced. It seems we expect others to show up how we are prepared to show up. Yesterday, we learned about the exercise in expectations versus reality. You know, where we expect something from someone and they show up on a completely different level than what we thought they would. Where does this show up in your life lately? And what is the most painful experience you've had recently with this? Get in touch with the feelings, the thoughts, the actions, and the reality of what happened in this scenario. Now, evaluate on what level you showed up or was prepared to show up in the scenario on a scale from 1 to 10. What level did the other person show up on a scale from 1 to 10? How many levels different were the two of you? And And this is telling, because now you can see why and how things are the way they are with regard to your level of dissatisfaction with this person. Or maybe the tables are reversed. You were actually the one that showed up on a lesser level than the other person expected. How did that feel? Today's entire meditation's purpose is to shine a light on this teaching and help you at a greater level understand what is happening when expectations are different than what reality is showing you. By bringing awareness to this part of your life, you're able to recognize the behavior in others and yourself when this happens, and you know what is going on. Can you see why there's dissonance? Can you see why there might be anger, hurt, and frustration for both individuals? What to do about this was covered in a previous meditation session, but today, all we're doing is holding space for you to discover how dissonance becomes a part of the relationship, and what part you and the other person plays in getting it to that point. And just as a side note, to let you in on a big secret, the secret to undoing this dissonance, this discouraging situation, is first taking note of where you both are willing to contribute to the relationship. And then second, you, not them, going down to the level where they are willing to contribute and meeting them there. More on this secret on another day, but I just gave you the secret sauce to turn it around. Once you figure out where you both stand, this is the first step. So I'm going to give you some moments to reflect on a relationship where the expectations are not meeting reality, and help you just practice acknowledging and practice evaluating and being aware and mindful that there is a difference in contribution levels. And this is why your relationship may not be working at the level that you desire it to be. So I'm going to mind the time until you hear that soft bell. Okay, let's come back now. Deep breathing, more deep breaths, and get in sync with your heart and send love and light to your heart through the palms of your hands placed over your heart space. This is such a difficult topic to think about, let alone deeply process what is happening here. You did great today. And in the coming weeks, we will talk more about solutions and what you can do to fix this issue when expectations don't meet reality. I appreciate you being brave enough to show up and do the work today. You're gaining such an arsenal of tools you can use to be self-sufficient and develop emotional maturity. I'm proud of you. And remember to choose to take in more light today than you did yesterday. Remember that peace comes as I become mindful and aware of when my expectations don't meet reality. I'll be back tomorrow with more goodness. I hope you will too. Bye for now. Welcome to day 227, Becoming Peace Meditation and Inspiration. The name of today's session is The Respect You Deserve. Today we're visiting so many scenarios and nuggets of great advice. I can't wait for you to experience today's meditative elixir. Have you ever been jilted, set aside, left behind, or not invited? The feelings that arise when these situations happen is nothing short of devastating and can be extremely debilitating. In today's session, we're going to visit 14 different owie scenarios, and my prayer today is that you'll keep your heart wide open and willing in order that you can turn around these negative life traps. So be open to what is suggested and take a screenshot at the end so you can keep this info tucked away for a later day when it's needed. So go ahead and let's prepare for relaxation and an open heart. Take several deep cleansing breaths in and out. And go ahead and close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Sit with your back supported and your head free. Take a few moments to set down your heavy backpack of life and just be present for yourself today. Letting go of all fear, anxious thoughts, deep wounds, and unmet expectations. Come with me to this present moment and just rest here for a few moments before we begin. I'd like to invite you to listen to the sound of my voice as we process through 14 different perspectives and turn each one of them around. As I speak each one, allow yourself to feel the discomfort until I speak the turnaround words. Allowing yourself to feel something thoroughly and completely is a critical piece of healing. So once I speak the turnaround words, allow your pains to reverse themselves, and in so doing, heal pieces of your disappointed heart. I'll repeat each one 3 times, and with each successive repeat, allow more and more of the painful negatives to dissipate and disappear. So let's begin. Our first one is, have you ever felt left out? If you have, turn it into move on. Left out equals moving on. Left out, move on. And just to remind you of the instructions, as I read the first section, as in left out, imagine a time when you have been left out. Let those feelings arise to the surface. Let yourself feel them completely without pushing back. And then as I read the second half, move on, that is your antidote to heal and move forward. So in this scenario, the second half is move on. So left out equals move on. And imagine your heart healing from when you have been left out and being able to move on. That's how our practice is going to go today. The second perspective is not told. How do I feel when I'm not told? The antidote, don't ask. Not told equals don't ask. not told, don't ask. Moving forward, not invited. How have you felt when you haven't been invited? Anecdote, walk away. Not invited equals walk away. Not invited, walk away. How does it feel to be unheard? Anecdote, speak up louder. Unheard equals speak up louder. Unheard, speak up louder. How does it feel to always be initiating? The antidote, step back. Always initiating equals step back. Always initiating, step back. Have you ever felt being used? The antidote, don't allow it. Feeling used equals don't allow it. Feeling used, don't allow it. Have you ever been dismissed? The antidote, stand your ground. Dismissed equals stand your ground. Dismissed, stand your ground. Have you ever felt taken for granted? The antidote, value yourself. Taken for granted equals valuing yourself. Taken for granted, value yourself. Have you ever felt disrespected? The antidote: set clear boundaries. Disrespected, set clear boundaries. Have you ever been underestimated? The antidote: prove them wrong. Underestimated equals prove them wrong. Underestimated, prove them wrong. Have your messages ever been ignored? The antidote: stop reaching out. Ignored messages equals stop reaching out. Ignored messages, stop reaching out. Have you ever been caught up in constantly explaining yourself? The antidote: stop justifying. Constantly explaining equals stop justifying. Constantly explaining, stop justifying. Have you ever felt unappreciated? The antidote is to distance yourself. Feeling unappreciated equals distancing yourself. Feeling unappreciated, Distance yourself. Trust yourself with the respect you deserve. Let's come back, easy, softly, gently taking deep breaths and relishing in your new-formed skills of being able to know how to act in a positive way to protect yourself through difficult circumstances. When we're able to act and not just be acted upon, it brings a form of peace unlike nothing else. Peace comes when I develop the emotional maturity to turn negative situations into positive outcomes on purpose. This session is so important, very important and critical if you want to live a life filled with peace and joy. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that you'll choose to share this session with someone you love, and remember to take in more light today than you did yesterday. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be here. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to day 228, Becoming Peace Meditation and Inspiration. The name of today's session is a simple self-check-in today. If we become aware of where we're at emotionally, physically, spiritually, and mentally, we can include more peace because we know what needs to be tended to. When we're mindful and facing the different facets of ourselves, we're able to function at a much higher, proficient level. Again, it begins with awareness. So let's see where this session takes us today. Go ahead and let's prepare for relaxation and an open heart. Open and honest heart. Take several deep cleansing breaths in and go ahead and close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Sit with your back supported and your head free and take a few moments to set down your heavy backpack of life and just be present for yourself today, letting go of all fear, anxious thoughts, deep wounds, and unmet expectations. Come with me to this present moment and rest here. And as we move into our session, I'll ask some thought-provoking questions and give you a bit of time to process each one as we move along. Here we go. Our first centering thought and question is, how am I feeling? How are you feeling right now? In this moment, what feelings are present and bubbling up to the surface right now? How are you feeling? Our next thought is, what is not working? What is not working in your life at the present moment? What is not working? Here's the next thought. What is working? What do you feel and think is working? And allow yourself to go through taking a mental inventory of what is working. What is it that you need? What do I need? This is always a great question to ask yourself because we are most often not programmed to ask such questions. Usually, we tend to everyone else's needs first. So, what is it that you need? Next, centering thought. What am I proud of? What accomplishments and goals are you proud of? Or maybe it's something you've created or some mind milestone you've accomplished. What are you proud of? Last centering thought. What can I let go of? What can be released, cleansed, and let go? What can you allow to pass? What can you let go of? Okay, let's come back now. Easy, softly, taking deep breaths and relishing in your newly formed skills of being able to take the time to check in with yourself and become aware of how you really are. Peace comes when I regularly check in with myself and evaluate what is next. Regular check-ins with yourself is just as important as check-ins with your family members or your coworkers or your boss. Actually, more important, because if you're tending to yourself and you're okay, you can go out into the world and do what is needed. Great work today. This is yet another tool you've developed that you can use to improve the peace in your life and to keep ourself grounded and content. I hope you've enjoyed this session, and I have immensely enjoyed holding this space for you today. I will be back tomorrow, and I hope you will too. Remember to take in more light today than you did yesterday. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to day 229, Becoming Peace, Meditation, and Inspiration. The name of today's session is Extending Your Peace. Today, we're visiting 5 mindful thoughts and affirmations that are going to increase your ability to promote more peace in your life. Are you ready and willing to embrace them? Sometimes it requires a huge shifting in our paradigms. Today, I'm holding space for you to consider shifting a few paradigms in order to embrace and become peace. Are you ready? Let's begin. So go ahead and let's prepare for relaxation and an open heart. Take several deep cleansing breaths in, and go ahead and close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Sit with your back supported and your head free. And take a few moments to set down your heavy backpack of life and just be present for yourself today, letting go of all fear, anxious thoughts, deep wounds, and unmet expectations. Come to this present moment and rest right here. When you choose peace, it comes with a lot of goodbyes. When you choose peace, it comes with a lot of goodbyes. Cutting ties with people that mistreat you isn't enough. You need to also cut ties with the version of yourself that allowed such events to continue for as long as they did. Cutting ties with people that mistreat you is not enough. You need to also cut ties with the version of yourself that allowed such events to continue for as long as they did. I don't feel the need to respond to toxic behavior. I watch, listen, and then remove myself immediately. I don't feel the need to respond to toxic behavior. I watch, listen, and remove myself immediately. Get out of your head and back on your feet. Remember who you really are. Get out of your head and back on your feet. Remember who you really are. Sometimes you've got to give up on people, not because you don't care, but because they don't. Sometimes you've got to give up on people, not because you don't care, but because they don't care. Okay, let's come back now. Easy, softly, taking deep breaths and relishing in your newly formed skills of being able to take the time to check in with yourself. I hope today was anecdotal for you in being able to imply and implore these 5 important affirmations or centering thoughts into your life. I hope you were able to take the time to integrate them today in this session. Listen to this session often and do a check-in with yourself to see how you're doing. Here is today's capstone thought. The struggle you're in today is developing the strength you need for tomorrow. The struggle you're in today is developing the strength you need for tomorrow, for it surely is cultivated in the present moment. Peace comes when I do the work to shift paradigms that don't serve me anymore. Great work today. You did great showing up and moving through your paradigm shifts. I'm so proud of you. I hope you choose to share this session with someone you love. Thank you so much for joining me and showing up for you. Remember to take in more light and goodness today than you did yesterday, just a little bit. I'll be back tomorrow, and I hope you are too. Bye for now.